This video is episode 2, Leveling and Panning, of our Basic Mixing in Pro Tools series. Feel free to watch these videos individually or as a series. There is a link to the full series playlist in the description below. If you find these videos useful, please comment, like, and subscribe. Enjoy! Okay, we're going to start working on our mix with some leveling and panning. So we have our Bella's Bartok multi-track song here. And so the first thing I'm going to do is start organizing my tracks. Now I can do this in either the mix window or the edit window. It's kind of nice doing this in the edit window because I can see the full names. So I'm going to hold shift and select a handful of tracks here, and I'm going to move them past the drums. And I like to organize my sessions so that they kind of go from the ground up. So I like to put my kick all the way on the left in the edit window, which would be all the way on the top. So drums first, followed by bass and rhythm instruments, and then leads and vocals. And so that's what we're doing. We're putting kick first, snare, toms. There's another tom. And then we're going to go to overheads. Oh, I think I messed up that tom. There we go. There's 3. There we go. Snare top, snare bottom, rack tom, floor tom, overhead. And then, oh, there's another snare. I've done this mix before, and this is not really, it's like an extra snare that's sitting there that the guy never plays. Let's see, we'll do the close over right by the other over, and then the chamber and the room. We'll put the room first. I know I'm not going to use this chamber right now, so we're going to mute that. And then you can see I've got bass, accordion, acoustic guitar, and then here's the trombone, the trumpet, and then we have the 3 vocals here. So this is the acoustic guitar vocalist, the lead vocalist, and then the bass guitar vocalist. So at this point, I'm going to switch Command equals back over to the mix window, and I can start soloing these. And so there's a kick. So that's kick in, and the next one is kick out. So kick in, kick out. Okay. There's a snare. It's not doing much right now. That's the top. That's the bottom. Here's that other snare that's really not doing anything. It's just picking up bleed. Okay. And then this is a tom mic. There you go. You hear the tom. There's the low tom, the floor tom. And there's the overheads. And these nicely went to a stereo track for me. This is the close overheads. You can hear how they're just right over the cymbal. They're really cymbal mics. You can hear how the hi-hat's on the left right now. So we're going to pan our drums accordingly. Okay, this is the room mic. We're going to bring that down a little bit. And then this one's the chamber, which is like a reverb sort of thing. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so we'll mute that. And there's the bass. And there's the accordion. So we're going to pan the accordion off to one side. Bring that down a little bit. There's our acoustic guitar. Pan that off to the other side. And we'll put the trombone over to one side. Put the trumpet off to the other side. And this is the lead. So we'll move the other 2 vocals off to the sides a little bit. Move them down a little bit. Everything's kind of loud. So what I'm going to do is bring the whole thing down a little bit. Now, the temptation would be to grab the master fader and move it down. You can see we went red there. So I can click on that to reset it. But I don't want to move this. I want this to stay at 0 because any moving of that is really going to lie to me about where my mix is. If I leave that at 0 and I'm going red, then that means my mix is too loud. If I leave it at 0 and my mix is too soft, then I know I need to turn things up. If I move this around, then I'm like essentially sending too much to it and then turning that too much down. So it's like I'm turning the distortion down. So it's best to just always leave that at 0, but keep an eye on it. So the way to do this is we're going to click on the all group here in the lower left. If this is not visible, this little arrow to the line will show and hide the groups in the tracks in the mix window. So I'm going to hit all right here, and I'm going to just grab one fader and just bring them all down 3 to 6 dB. Okay. And you notice what happened was the master fader also went down. So I'm going to move this back to 0 by just holding Option and clicking on it, and it jumps back to 0. You can see that's the setting of it. So see there's two numbers under these. The one on the left is the level of your fader, and the one on the right is the peak level of the signal that's coming through. And if the peak goes above, you can always click on it and it will reset that peak. So let's go ahead and play it now and see where we're at. So that's a little better level-wise now. We're going to go through and keep on moving those levels around. So I'm going to actually click on like the last drum here and then shift click on the first one. And if I hold Option and Shift, I can solo those. So now I can just listen to the drums and kind of get a good level on that. You got to get their first couple hits here. Okay, and that, there we go. It's the close overheads. It's giving me a lot of hi-hat. That overhead is a nice balanced sound of the drums, so I want to use that more than other stuff. So the close overs are more like if the overheads don't work. And we'll pan the toms. So it's the other way. So we're doing drummer perspective. So the hi-hat's all the way on the left. So the rack tom would be to the left a little bit, and the floor tom would be to the right a little bit. Okay, so the relationship between the kick and the snare is pretty even. I can hear both of them about the same as each other. Okay, we're going to Option click on that. Little accordion, get that in the right spot. There's the acoustic guitar. I'm going to actually flip these because I want my acoustic guitar to be on the opposite side of the hi-hat, because hi-hat and acoustic guitar have a very similar sound, so I don't want them to be piling on top of each other. And then I'm going to switch my trombone on the right and my trumpet on the left. Now I'm going to need to do a little bit of work on that vocal because sometimes it's really loud and sometimes it's soft. But this first preliminary phase of leveling and panning is just to kind of get a general level. Like right now, we actually can start to hear a lot of the stuff. It's not just like crazy loud at times and everything's just in your face. There's kind of a little bit more of a balance there. So we've finished our leveling and panning. We have a good preliminary level of the mix, and then we'll continue to mix as we progress.